good evening. Earlier today we had a training call, a Team Fit training call, and the topic matter was preferred placement. Jay Floyd was hosting, and he talked about all the talking points I think I would have talked about, so that makes me feel good. But I think with this particular topic matter, it really helps to have a visual aid, especially for people that aren't too familiar with preferred placement and how it works. So I'm going to give you that little visual aid on my whiteboard here. Now, for the purpose of this particular training, I'm going to assume that you already know terms like team volume, left volume, left leg, right leg, and what it means to be active. I'm going to assume you know all those things. So if you don't know them, get in touch with your coach and have some very foundational type of training that you probably should have already had. So let's get on with preferred placement. That little circle, that's going to represent you. One thing that all coaches, all Beachbody coaches have in common with each other is that we are all at the very top of our own organization, all of us. It doesn't matter if within the whole Team Beachbody structure we're at the top level or the 100th level deep or the 1000th level deep. We are all at the very top of our own organization. We're all the CEO of our own company. We all own our own income, so be excited about that. Now your first goal right away when you sign up is to get active. Get on Shakeology Home Direct. Every single coach should be on Shakeology Home Direct. It's going to give you a surplus of 40 volume points, so you're going to be active. And you should be a product of the product. If you're not a product of the product, I don't know how the heck you're going to sell this thing. I just don't. And if you're a product of the product, you're going to experience it working in your life and let that drive you to share it with other people. If you're passionate, if you've got desire, believe me, you're not going to have a problem talking about it. You're not going to be able to shut up about it. You're going to tell everybody about it. So be a product of the product. It's great for business because it's going to keep you active, and it's going to keep, if everybody is active, then nobody's going to lose their rank advancement. So it's great for business, but first and foremost, it's great for your health, and this is a fitness first company. So keep that in mind too. Every coach, Shakeology. If you've got a coach who isn't, or if you aren't on Shakeology, get on it. And talk to me if you need to. I'll tell you all about Shakeology. I can't shut up about it. I think it's the greatest product ever made. The testimonials that I get day in and day out over email or phone call, it's so incredible. I'm driven more by that than I am the money any day of the week. So Shakeology Home Direct. All right, now that I got that out of the way, you're active. That's your first goal. Get on Shakeology Home Direct, so you're active. Your next goal and your first business milestone is going to be to make Emerald. And now I'm going to start plugging in the preferred placement training. Now at first you're not going to understand preferred placement. I don't think anybody really does. So if your coach hasn't already walked you through actually setting it for you, get in touch with your coach, or at least somebody who knows about it and the importance of preferred placement. Have that person or me walk you through setting it up. You shouldn't have to wait till you understand it till you start setting it correctly, because then what's going to happen is down the road after you understand it, you're going to look back to when you first got started and you signed up your first few coaches, and you're going to think, my God, these first several coaches, I should have stacked them this way because I'd be making more and my team would just be better leveraged. So make sure that you have somebody walk you through setting preferred placement. Every time I get a new coach, that's one of the first things I do with them. Or it's among the first things that I do is I make sure their preferred placement is set, and every time they sign up a new coach, I make sure that it's set for them. I literally walk them through it so they get the most out of it, and eventually they're going to pick up, they're going to learn as they see it, and everything is good. And they're going to do the same thing with their coaches, because what I do tends to duplicate down, and that's a really important thing for this business, is to do things that are easy and duplicable. So when I'm walking a coach through setting up preferred placement, they're brand new, they've got nobody. You go to the Coach Online Office View, Graphical Genealogy, this is what it looks like. So you got nobody as a new coach. But that's all going to change. So I'm going to walk my new coach through the preferred placement, Graphical Genealogy. Click on your little icon, and you're going to see your coach ID appear somewhere up here. And you're going to set preferred placement based on your coach ID. And there's going to be some information other than coach ID, but you're going to see the coach ID. You're going to set that in the preferred placement under set preferred placement by coach ID. There's another selection too, I don't remember what it is, but never use that. Never. Always go by coach ID. In this case, yours, because it's the only one we got to go by, because you got nobody yet. So we got that set, and for this example's sake, we're going to have it set to the left leg. And you're going to see this little ghost-like icon up here. It's going to light up in red, not a circle. I can't draw very good, so I'm just going to use a circle. But that's an indication of that's where your next coach, or in this case your first coach, is going to go. This preferred placement is predetermining where the very next person, or in this case your first person, is going to end up in your downline when they go to beachbodycoach.com / your username, and they click on yes, I want to be a Beachbody coach, and they go through that. This is going to predetermine where they show up. And once they show up there, their place is secure. You cannot move them. So you want to make sure that you get the stuff set up beforehand, before a coach signs up. Okay, so you've got it set to your coach ID, your placement ID, to go to your left leg, and you got your first person. They're going to your beachbodycoach.com website. They sign up, and boom, they're going to be right there. Next time you look at graphical genealogy, you're going to see that. That's what it's going to look like. Now, you want to set the preferred placement to go to your other leg. In this case, it's going to be your right leg. So person number 2 goes to your website, the beachbodycoach.com website. Yes, I want to be a coach. They sign up, and they're going to land right here, because that's where you set the preferred placement. Now, you're going to go back into your graphical genealogy view. You should check your coach online office at least once every day, if not several times a day, because every time you get a new coach, you're going to want to see where that coach is at, so that you can set your preferred placement if you need to. Because remember, when somebody signs up, they're there. Their placement is secure for life. Okay, so now we've got it like this. This is what your graphical genealogy view is going to look like in your coach online office area. So now we're just going to sort of teeter back and forth maybe. We're going to set the preferred placement to reflect not your coach ID, but for this example, this guy there on the left. So you click on that guy's icon right there on your left, and it's going to give his coach information along with his coach ID number, and you're going to plug that number instead of yours into the preferred placement. And then you're also going to set, while we're on the left leg, you're going to set preferred placement to go to this guy's left as well. So your next coach goes to your beachbody.com website, they sign up to be a coach, and they're going to land right there. And then you're going to see this in your graphical genealogy view, and then you're going to set preferred placement again, because you want to do that after every time you sign up a new coach and before the next person signs up. So now, to even out the legs, you're going to set it to this guy right here. Click on his little icon, you'll see his coach ID, and set it to his right, so he goes deep and wide. Next person goes through, they sign up, they're going to be placed right there. So, the important thing is to go deep. I also like to go wide because it just looks more graphically organized. And so that's the way that I like to do it. Now, your first business milestone is to achieve Emerald. So let me back up here. That's what Emerald is going to look like. All you need are 2 coaches that you personally sponsor, at least one on your left and at least one on your right. They're active, you're active, and you're Emerald. And that's what's going to open up everything that's produced down here, all the volume that's produced in your team. That's how you're going to open up the ability to leverage other people's time, talents, and the volume that they're accumulating for your team. So that's your first big milestone. Because as far as all of this goes, none of that really matters if you're not Emerald yet. So get Emerald. And your next milestone is going to be, your next business milestone is going to be Diamond. And here's what that looks like.